The Newars constitute one of the most prominent indigenous communities with their own historic territory, native language, script, literature, music, and both tangible and intangible heritage. The Swaniga, or the Kathmandu Valley, is their primary homeland. Politically and administratively, the territory of the ancient Nepal Mandala is the land of the Newars. However, many Newars had been displaced from their homeland and migrated to different parts of Nepal due to state repression and unfavorable circumstances in various periods of history. The Newars migrated to the western district of Nepal. Doti, Rolpa, Rukum, Salyan, Riti, Palpa, Baglung, Gorkha, and Pokhara, as well as to the eastern districts including Ramechhap, Sindhuli, Chainpur, Bhojpur, Thankutta, Dharan, and Taplejung. They also settled even in Bhutan and in Sikkim and Kalimpong of India in search of employment. At present, Newars are spread across all 77 districts of Nepal. According to historian Baburam Acharya, the word Nepar or Newal was derived from the word Nepal. Nepal and Newar or Newa denote the same meaning. According to him, the word Nepal does not denote a country but a caste or community. This means that Nepal is the Newal country. The name of Nepal as a country came from the identity of the Newa community. At the beginning of the inscription of Lichavi King Basanta Dev, dated 512 AD, and the inscription of Anshuvarma, dated 607 AD, found at Patual of Tistung Makwanpur district, mentioned Swasti Nai Palabhya, which addressed the community as a caste descriptor. The valley where the Newars inhabit is neither naturally so hot nor so cold. The atmosphere is ideal for joyful living. In prehistoric times, the soil of the Kathmandu Valley was very fertile because of the biological remains of the pond. So, this place lured people to settle. And so, many people came down from across the northern Himalayas at different times. Similarly, people from the south came here. In this way, Nepal Mandala has been inhabited by a number of Mongols and Aryans. Furthermore, people of the Kirati origin from the northeastern region also migrated to Swaniga. However, one characteristic is that no matter where they entered the Swaniga, their common identity became Newar later. In this way, the Newars are developed as the amalgamation of various castes, races, and forms. Hence, the Newars are pluralistic in terms of ethnicity. Sociologists speculate that the Newars must have been nature worshippers during prehistoric times. Some practices can still be found being continued as the beliefs of the Newars. However, later in the course of social development, when people from different places came in, some Newars also adopted their religious influences and practices. Some members of the Newar community consider Shiva as their god of worship. There are Newars who observe the tantric rituals and traditions of the Kaul faction of the Shiva sect. Some also followed the Kapalika Tantra. Later, there were many Shaktas among the Newars who worshipped Shakti or Mahamaya as their main deity and considered the mother power as their goddess. Especially after the Lichavi era, the number of Vaishnava sects in the Nepali society increased. With the construction of Swambhu and Thandwa Chaityas during the reign of Lichavi king Vrishdev, it can be said that there was an abundant number of Buddhists in Swaniga then. There is evidence that in medieval Nepal, especially during the reign of the Malla kings, the kings themselves adopted Buddhism and built bihars. The Buddhist bihar and chaityas in Swaniga are proof that there must have been a significant number of Buddhists then. In this regard, there is religious and faith diversity in the Newar society. However, one of the greatest characteristics of the Newars is the harmony and respect of people of one religious belief for other religious beliefs. Joint celebration of festivals, rituals, and customs by Hindu, Shakta, Shaiva, and Buddhist faiths have been a symbol of religious harmony. Festivals of Karunamaya, Kumari, Ajima, etc. are proof of the same. The customs and rituals performed from birth to death by the various groups within the Newars are very similar. In the same way, the festivals celebrated are not very different. Marriage of girls with Narayana god. Bara, seclusion of adolescent girls. Keta Puja and Bade Chigu, welcoming adolescent boys to adulthood. Marriage and Jatha Jangkwa, celebration of old age, are celebrated in a similar way. However, some Newar communities do not observe Ihi, and some do not shave birth hair. The death rituals are also different. Some of the ethnic communities in Thimi do not perform Ma Puja, a unique Newar tradition, and the Newars in Kona do not celebrate Mohani. In terms of festivals, the Newars of Kathmandu celebrate Pahatsare. The Newars of Lalitpur hold Mataya festival, and Biska is a popular festival in Bhaktapur. There are different festivals celebrated by Newars residing in different places. Nepal Bhasa or Newar language, the language Newars have been using as their mother language to exchange ideas and feelings, is serving as a common identity of the cultural, religious, and ethnically diverse indigenous Newar community of ancient Nepal Mandal. Those who arrived in the valley settled here and accepted Nepal Bhasa as their mother tongue of expression became Newars. Therefore, sociologists consider the Newars as a linguistic community as they speak basically the same language, the Newar language, though the community is full of diversity. Nepal Bhasa or Newar language is the main basis of the common identity of the Newars. The written tradition of the Newar language is very old. The history of the creative writing tradition dates back nearly 600 years. Not only in Nepal, but also in South Asia, there are only 5 Tibeto-Burmese languages with their own script. One of them is the Newar language. The Ranjana script of the Newar language is considered one of the most attractive and artistic scripts in the world. Similarly, Prachalit, Pujimola, Litumola, Kumola, etc. are Newar scripts. There are various occupations among the Newars for livelihood. In the context of Nepal as a whole, Newars are said to have specialties in the fields of technology, crafts, and businesses. The skills and knowledge of the Newars in the fields of metal art, sculpture, architecture, and wood art are unique. adopting these fields as their occupation. Some Newars have been leading in businesses abroad as their family occupation, especially in Tibet. There are many Newar people who have left their homes for their businesses in the countryside. On the other hand, there are some Newars who have been taking government services or the administrative field as their job. However, for most Newars, agriculture is the occupation. Since ancient times, the Newars have been identified based on their occupation. Most of the social costs are associated with the occupations held by the groups concerned. The main social tendency of the Newars who have been living together in larger groups in Tol, Baha, monastic courtyards, Lachi, open courtyards, and Nani, open space, is community coordination and cooperation. It is the main social tendency of the Newars to be able to move forward with community support and participation in any matter within the structure of guthi, trusts or associations, sarva sangha, or aga. Various festivals, social and cultural activities have been conducted for thousands of years based on such a tendency of community cooperation. At the same time, the Newars have been considering it as a social tendency to help or share food with each other during festivals and celebrations. Sharing yomari, a sweet delicacy, tau bhaji, beaten rice with curd, same bhaji, special snack, etc., are the practical forms of this social tendency. Newars, being social creatures, have created their own society, the guthi system. The Newars have traditions to feast, to bind within the community, arranging various authentic dishes and eating the feast with discipline. Newars make a variety of protein-rich meat dishes, such as chuela, kachila, teakala, pukala, hila, pala, etc. They arrange kaula kasa, feast, and same bhaji from time to time. Yomari is prepared at the time of harvesting, Chatamari during Digu Puja, Wa during Siddhi Naka, Kwati on Gunhupuni, Sakati on Kaisanhu, and Akshaya Tritiya. There is a principle of a balanced diet found in Newar diets. The philosophy of the Newars, who are following the religion of humanity with their own art, language, music, culture, customs, and rituals, is a testimony to the world. Newars are self-reliant in everything from making tools and weapons required in daily life to agricultural systems, drinking water systems, food, and clothes. Newars use their authentic technology and crafts in every activity from birth to death, from making the bricks required for construction to making alcohol, oil, from making pottery for household use to weaving clothes, making mats for shelter, to making agricultural tools and making metal instruments. Newars have their own craftsmanship. Moreover, for drinking water, wells, stone sprouts, and ponds have been built with the underground pipe system connected. to extinguish fires, small ponds are built at densely built settlements as disaster management tools. As most of the Newars are dependent on the agricultural system, it was customary for every household to make organic fertilizer pits at their houses. Music has a great place in Newar culture. Although music is considered a means of entertainment, the use of music is very diversified for the Newars. Newars play musical instruments in dance performances, comics, dramas, bhajans, festivals, and rituals, and in times of great sorrow for someone's demise. The same instrument is played in different rhythms according to the festivals and rituals of different doles. The skills and art of the Newars in making and playing musical instruments are also very commendable. Music has great importance in the lives and society of the Newars. It is customary to sing in religious activities and rituals from birth to death. There are various songs according to the seasons. Since ancient times, the traditional songs in Nepal Bhasa have been created in the Kathmandu Valley, such as Chacha, Dafa, Bhajan, and Gyanmala Bhajan, etc. These religious and cultural customs are then expanded beyond the valley, wherever the Newars reside. Newars are not just a community with cultural and social diversity, but also a complete society with diversity in terms of employment, religious diversity, and racial diversity within the Newars. According to sociological beliefs, the Newars are well organized, developed, and organized society in terms of their own historical territory, original language, script, literature, culture, as well as rich customs and traditions of living. The Newars, very ancient people who have been holding a common consciousness within a common language and a common sense of self, are a nation. According to the 2021 census, there are 1,345,363 Newars in the country who use the Nepal Samvat, established by national hero Sankhadar Sakwa to free the country from debt 1,145 years ago.